Good morning and welcome to the Oilers TV live pregame show. I'm your host, Tony Brar. Thanks so much for making us a part of your morning. The Edmonton Oilers look to end a 6-game losing skid on the 6th game of this homestand as they welcome in the Columbus Blue Jackets to Rogers Place on Thursday night. Now, the Columbus Blue Jackets also looking to get back in the win column. They had a 3-goal lead against the Vancouver Canucks 2 nights ago, but ended up dropping that one 4-3 in regulation. So we are going to talk to Associate Coach Jim Playfair in just a few moments. That will be followed by forwards Kailer, Yamamoto and Leon Draisaitl this morning.
Morning.
Starting goaltender tonight, is Mike Smith close, or what will it look like tonight?
Smitty's close, and we're going to go with Skinner.
Okay. How do you think it is in there? How's this group? It's been a rough go here, and I know you're probably all tired of answering questions about this and just want to get it over with. So
no, it's good. It's good. I think it's the process that we have to work through, right? I think sometimes you get caught up and want to get to the end result and just get the 2 points and move on to the next game. And I think it's more about us focusing on the process of the shift you're playing is the most important shift of the night. So let's just manage that shift and build on the good ones and get back after it if we have a shift that isn't so good. So I think it's more of a process. So it's not like the dressing room is one way or the other. I think it's preparation. I think it's a long season, all those little cliches you can talk about, but really it's just about earning the right shift to shift to build a win.
Your bottom six, Jim, over here, your bottom six now, Devon Shore's out, so you just throw them up in the air and say, okay, here's who's playing with whom?
First of all, I like the toque. That looks awesome. But I think the big thing with our bottom six is to recognize that again, it goes back, breaks down to the same thing. We have to be really strong as units of 5 on the ice every shift. And I think that we'll, it's unfortunate we got Shorzy out now and Zach's out, but I think that gives other guys great opportunities. We'll see a little bit more of Perlini again tonight. We'll see a little bit more of probably Turris tonight. So those are good opportunities for guys, and everyone recognizes where we are, and everybody has to have the input. I think when you see some other teams around the league that they roll 4 lines and they have consistent structure, they have consistent tempo, and that's what we have to get. Sometimes get caught up in 2 lines playing one way and another 2 lines maybe playing a little bit different. And I think as we grow this deal, we're trying to get it to where the consistency in our lines going out, the structure's the same, the compete's the same, and then the separation comes from obviously those top 3 or 4 guys. But I still think we got to grow towards the consistent effort and structure of our team play.
And Hyman is day-to-day, or is that just very optimistic?
You know what? I just talked to TD for a couple minutes before I came out to see you guys, and he is day-to-day. I don't know what that means. If it's, I guess it would be week to week if we don't see him in the next day or 2. But yeah, as of now, he's day-to-day.
Thank you.
So when you have, we've heard you talk about trying to get the lines to play the same way and throw 4 lines over, and we've seen good teams do that. But you're blessed with having Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and they play the game just differently, and their lines play the game differently. Is sometimes having 2 guys like that in your top lines and then looking at your bottom lines and say, play the same way, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, that's the issue. We can't play the same way as those 2 guys. We have to play the structured style consistently, I think, is what we're after, is getting everybody playing to the identity of our group. And those guys as well. And then what separates it is those guys at the top end are going to do what they do. But I think maybe we get caught up in trying to do things that the top guys do a little bit too often. Turn some pucks over, trying to create something when it's not there, not moving the game along, not pushing the game along. And I think the structure of our team is going to be a lot more consistent when we get all lines really digging in and buying into how we play in our D zone, through the neutral zone, the offensive zone. Obviously, the great, separator is those top 2 guys, but it comes down to system and structure and consistency. I mean, I think you look around the league, a lot of teams that have success, that's the formula that seems to work.
So a coach once told me that I coach the same all the time, but the players just listen more when we're losing. Is that a fact?
I don't know. I think coaches become good coaches when players decide to become good students, right? But it's all these things start to pop up when you go through struggles, right? And I think honestly, this is in the long term, it's going to be beneficial for us to really do a deep dive on our 5-on-5 structure. And it's not a separate thing where the coaches are over here and the players are over there. We're all in all together, right? So it wasn't like the coaches weren't coaching really much better when we were 9-1 than we are when we're whatever we are now, right? So it's about the group being together, and that's, I think, the biggest thing that the room and the staff have connected on is let's stick together and build our 5-on-5 and get our 5-on-5 organized and get it more consistent, and let's find a way to get some points going.
Hey, Jim, just one question for me. Devon Shore is the third member of the team who's entered COVID protocol. Obviously, the cases have gone up in the last few days around the NHL. How's the team dealing with it? Not from a protocol standpoint, but just from a mental standpoint, not allowing it to become a distraction, if you will, and just focusing on hockey, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's in sports now. You look at all the leagues are dealing with the same, rash of cases, and I think it's. We're probably in a situation where we have more of an important focus on a day-to-day basis and trying to get ourselves back up and winning some games consistently. And the COVID deal is what it is. I mean, we obviously we're aware of it. We're concerned about it. And I think probably there'll be some more protocols coming in this afternoon is kind of what we're hearing on how we're going to be better prepared for it. But we have more of a different focus, I think, on right now for our group is how do we stay healthy? I mean, you look at up the street, like that's not good for anybody, because what you don't talk about much is the wives and children and kids and girlfriends and all the other people that are important in this, and you kind of just talk about the athletes themselves. So, it's you hope it doesn't get to a point where we were, 12 months ago, but you got to be aware of it, and you have to pay attention to what the rules are and what the league mandates, and through all that, be prepared to play tonight and find a way to win.
And just from a coaching perspective, how much more challenging does it make your job? You're coming in the morning and you find out you might have a player who's out due to COVID protocol. You have a lineup in place, and now that has to change. How much more challenging has it made your job and the rest of the coaches?
Yeah, I don't know if whether it's an injury or a suspension or COVID, I don't know if you catalog those any differently. I think when you come in and you get, your 20 guys organized and you get ready to play, and that's why we're professionals. That's why we're put in this position to give ourselves the best chance to win. So it affects you obviously but you can't dwell on that. You got to get ready to play.
Thank you.
One question, Jim. What's Brian Wiseman's role if you're handling the defense? Glenn's handling the forwards. Is he doing the power play? Doing the penalty kill? What's he doing?
Wise is always in direct contact with our eye in the sky, and Gully does the power play and the forwards, and I do the PK and the defense. And it's the easiest for the players to continue on and not worry about what's going on behind the bench. And with our group and the talks we've had with them, it's about the players playing on the ice more than it's about anything else. And so, yeah, Wise. None of our roles have changed other than Gully, running the bench.
Hey, Jim. Yeah. Leon was just in here chatting a little bit about the fact that he doesn't have too much confidence right now at this point, and a lot of the guys on the team don't have much right now during the skid. But at that same point, Leon is second in league scoring. The team as a whole was 9-1 just over a month ago. Can you manifest some of that confidence as a coach?
Yeah, I think confidence is earned, right? That's we just went through our PK today, and we're at 63% in the last 5 or 6 games. But when you go through it and break it down and you look at it, there's a natural tendency to try to do a little less and be a little more protective, a little more safe, and a little more, let's not make a mistake on this one. And we're trying to get ourselves back up to being aggressive and to earn that confidence back by getting up on our toes. And I'd rather have us make an aggressive mistake trying to really push the pace than try to play safe and have something go south that way. And I think that ties into your 5-on-5. And when you look at it generally, your special teams are an extension of your 5-on-5, right? So I think in 5-on-5, we're a little bit hesitant. We're a little bit, let's just make the safe play. Let's just try to make sure we do things right. And they're too good of players, they're too competitive, and so just to try and coach them up a little bit and get them up aggressively going after stuff, and it'll turn, it'll work, it'll happen, it'll get going again, but it's just got to you got to push them along, drag them along, and get them back believing that there's a pace that we have to play with, and we have to get back to that pace, and then we can see how we start winning games again.
One question, which one handles the coach's challenge, you or Gully?
Oh, that I don't know. I haven't had one yet, but I would say we would have a JC in the back would give us some direction on it. We'd have a quick little conference. It's the same with Tip, right? If Tip has it, he'll confer with the rest of us and make a group decision and get it, and that way. So it would probably be that same way, I would think. right, thanks, guys. Enjoy the weather.
Because as guys have said over the last few days, like moping around isn't going to get you anywhere either. But is it a bit of an effort to try and maintain that?
I for sure think so. I mean, it takes a full 60 minutes. It takes everybody. Can't just take one or two guys, to play a full game. It's got to come from within the group, and it's got to be the full group. So I think that's what we got to do, and I think we got to start believing in each other just a little bit more.
People might assume that it's negative and down and tough in the room right now. How would you describe what it's like in that locker room right now while you guys are going through this?
I still think, we're very upbeat, even throughout games. I think once we've been going down a goal, it's been tough to, work from behind, but, the guys are still in it. Just things aren't going our way right now.
And how about for you personally, Kailer? What sorts of things are you working on and are you focused on just to try and maybe give yourself that little extra push that helps the team get out of this?
Yeah. Obviously, I've been, this year I've been talking about my shots. I haven't been getting too many of them, but trying to help the team win, whether that's keeping plays live, playing good defense, kind of stuff like that.
Hey, Kailer, how's it going? So, when you have this bit of a slump here for the team with just 9 goals in the last 6 games, it's easy to say, well, just shoot more, but some games you guys have got a lot of shots on goal. So, what's still kind of maybe that missing ingredient for jamming a few in?
It's tough to say. Obviously, getting shots is a big thing. I think on top of that, we just got to find a way to get our second chances. I feel like second chances are a big thing in the game, and being able to get those, I definitely think that will help our team out.
Just also, given the time of year, if you don't mind flashing back to your World Junior experience, this would have been ramping up to that. What do you remember about that whole month eventually leading into the tournament?
I know I played up here for a few games, got sent back, and then I ended up making it. Just leading up, I think it was a tough season for me, going into it, but the World Juniors, kind of helped my game out a lot, and it was probably one of the best tournaments I've ever played. I was fortunate enough to play in that outdoor game, which was surreal. I'll never forget that one. Snow was about 2 inches thick on the ice playing through that, so that was really cool.
Okay, thanks.
So you talked to us before the season started about how much you've been working on your shot, and you said to us, I got to get more shots, and I got to use this shot I'm working on. And you have, I think you have less shots today than you would have had after this many games last year. What do where did it go? Where did the desire to get more shots, where did it go, and can it come back?
It's still there. It's a good league. Everyone out there is in the NHL for a reason. They play tight, in the D zone, so it's been tough to get to those areas. Still working on it. But I feel like I'm helping the team out in other ways. Whether it's keeping plays live, second efforts, kind of stuff like that. You
would be sort of the top end of that group of support scorers in Edmonton that that needs to help McDavid and Draisaitl win some games here. Do you feel like maybe you need some offense? Do you feel like some pressure to try to be a leader among that group to try to put some pucks in the net here and get this thing rolling?
I definitely try to put that pressure on myself. Obviously I want to be out there scoring goals, making plays. We're having a tough stretch right now. Obviously we need a little bit more from the support cast, and I definitely think we're trying our best to do that right now.
Morning, Leon. I guess what's the What's the mood in the dressing room right now? It's been a little bit of time here, and I know you guys are trying to keep it positive. So have you been able to do that, and how does it feel in there heading into tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you never feel great if you lose 6 in a row. You know, there's no secret to that. But I thought we had a really good skate yesterday. Lots of energy, and I think we all know what we have to do to get back into the winning ways, and obviously tonight is a good chance for us to do that.
Kind of a situation where maybe everybody takes it upon themselves in some way to try and do something a little bit different or try and do something a little bit extra with their own game. Is it kind of on everybody in that way?
Yeah, I mean, you can't rely on just a few guys. We need our whole group. Every piece is so important for us to be successful. So, yeah, we all have to dig a little deeper, be a little sharper in certain areas, and obviously it starts with the leaders going all the way down. So, again, tonight is a good chance for us to, I guess, bounce back.
Leon, Kailer Yamamoto, he spoke to us before the season about how he went away in the summer and he worked hard in his shot and he was going to come back and he really wanted to shoot the puck more. And for whatever reason, we're 27 games in and he doesn't have very many shots, not even as many as last year. Is there, you're his centerman a lot of nights. I know you've got your own stuff to worry about, but is there sort of any way you can help him build his game? Do you feel like there's things you do to make him himself here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm trying. Like you said, right now I have my own game to worry about and figure out a little bit. But I love playing with him, and there's a reason why we've been playing together for so long. So I think obviously our line can be a lot better, a lot more productive. So yeah, we're looking to get better step by step. Obviously, we need him to start shooting again a little bit, and get a little more active in the offensive zone. So yeah, again, tonight is I guess a fresh start for all of us. That's I think how we're kind of seeing this. So yeah, hopefully he'll find his game and we find our game.
Tell me about the dynamic of when you're a leader on a team. Part of the responsibility is, keeping everybody upbeat and helping guys improve their games and making sure no one's down in the dumps. But you got to worry about your own game, and, it's hard when you lose 6 in a row. Is there time for that in the room right now? Is there time to build other players up?
Well, yeah, you have to. Otherwise, you don't have a chance. We build each other up. I'm not only worried about my game. I am worried about my game right now, but we're a team, and there's 20 other guys that we all need to be clicking at the same time for us to be successful. So you try and get everyone going at the same time. Obviously, lately we haven't had that really. So we're looking to do that tonight and kind of start fresh, and obviously we need to start with one win.
Hey, Leon. I got Nugent Hopkins' thoughts on this. I'm curious to get yours as well. As an athlete, it seemed like at the start of the season when things were rolling, you guys were relying on instincts and letting the game come to you. And now, in the midst of a 6-game losing streak, perhaps there's a little bit too much gripping of the stick or thinking a little bit too much. Can you talk about the contrast of playing with instincts as opposed to thinking maybe a little bit too much as an athlete?
Well, I think as an athlete, so much is about confidence, right? And it's a team sport. If you lose 6 in a row, you're not going to be confident. There's no way. We've scored, I don't know, less than 1 goal a game, or 1 goal a game in the last 5-6 games. Like, there's no confidence. That's normal. That happens, but it's up to us to figure out, to find that confidence. Sometimes that's through practice. Sometimes that's through in between your ears. Sometimes that's your first shift in a game. There's different scenarios. So again, it's tough to be confident when you lose 6 in a row, but eventually you need to snap out of it and find your confidence. And that's what we're paid to do, right? To produce and be productive, and so I think tonight's probably a good time to snap out of it.
Oops. Hey, Leon, over here. I guess in the last couple of days, you've got 2 players and a coach in protocol. Is that a little unsettling for you guys, especially after you see what happened in Calgary, and maybe what's happening backstage to try and kind of prevent the spread of this, like what happened in Calgary?
Yeah, I mean, we're following all the rules. Obviously, we're very careful. You know, we don't want to have an outbreak. Obviously, it's too bad for us to have three guys in our organization to get it right now. But right now, you obviously want to keep it at that, and you don't want more and more people getting it. So it is unsettling, of course, when you see other teams with lots more guys. But you know, we're doing our part to keep this safe, and especially this facility to keep it safe. So, yeah, there's really not much more that you can do.
Leon, it's been evidence almost from the moment he got here that you've enjoyed playing with Kailer. What about his game, his personality has struck a chord with you that, you know, keeps him a favorite of yours to this point?
He does so many things that so many people don't see. No disrespect, but that you guys probably don't see. He keeps plays alive. He works as hard as I've ever seen anyone work. He hunts pucks. He keeps battles alive. He comes out with the puck in battles, and those are things that, you know, what hockey is really all about, right? It's about little battles, one-on-one battles, and he's good at it. He's a smaller guy, but he plays a big man's game. So obviously he's probably doesn't have the most confidence right now. Neither do I, neither does Nuge. No one on our team probably does right now, but there's a time where, like I said before, you need to snap out of it and find your confidence again, and we're looking to do that tonight.